Welcome traders. So it is Sunday, the 3rd of September already, and I'm recording this for the week commencing Monday, the 4th of September. So really, this is all the high impact news I'm expecting will create a bit of turbulence in the markets. I'm really going to be just focusing potentially just on the rate statement, because rate statements can create a bit of increased volatility. That'll be the CAD. And then we've got unemployment out of the US, because everyone's also doom and gloom. That's really where most of the focus will be. Otherwise, I would expect normal to reasonable volatility from all of this. Let's go and have a look at the charts. So looking at the VIX, you can just see again, price is still sitting at the sort of lows. So not a lot of volatility in the markets at the moment, and so not signaling any danger. All right. And then, if we have a look at the dollar index, so I kind of misread it on Friday, but this is typical of non-farm payroll. We actually had, most of last week, we had a bit of a weaker dollar, and it recovered on Friday, Thursday and Friday, and pushed a lot higher. So we've got that breakout of that gentle trend line. We've got a generally sort of, this is, you could argue this is a bit of a hanging man, but this is looking a little bit more bullish than bearish. However, it's got to get through this kind of 104, 104.25 level. It does, for all intents and purposes, appear as though it has broken out, retested, and is looking to continue. If that's the case, and if you look at it from a monthly perspective, it would imply that we're more likely to go up towards 105 than anything else, which means that this week I could be looking forward to a stronger dollar, and then that would mean that I'm starting to look for shorter positions on the weaker pairs here, again, the majors against the US dollar, so looking for breaks of the euro dollar to continue down, potentially actually down to these lows here, 106, 106.50. Looking at sterling, same thing again. We've kind of broken the low. We're still in a downtrend, low highs, low low. There's some possible support here, but all of this is hinting at a possibility of a continued move to the downside, which would put 1.25 in my sights. Then looking at Aussie dollar, this to me being a really solid rejection of this level here. It is an uptrend. However, it is also technically within the weekly. It is also a retracement. So it does appear as though prices come back, rejected this level, which was support, rejected that. We look at it on the daily. We've got a monthly downtrend. We actually have a weekly downtrend. And although we have a daily uptrend, this seems to be more of a retracement within the weekly. So I'll be looking for breaks of the low of Friday's low and looking for price to at least head down towards these lows, 0.6400 and potentially further. So where I'm going with this, there could be some really good opportunities with the majors against the US dollar here. Also here, similar type of behavior with Kiwi against the US dollar. So this looking like a bit of a failure. This looks as though a bit of a follow through, and we'll see. So it's not really a great reward to a setup because there's some support in the way. Dollar yen, obviously getting a boost from that. Look at Friday's candle, very nice and bullish, overall uptrend, but it is failing in this area. So let me just place a line over there. We are failing in this area. It's struggling, but it looks as though it's certainly going to try and break through that. Then we've got dollar Swissy also looking more and more bullish. Looks like it wants to continue up. It is still in an area here where it could find resistance and turn around. However, it still looks as though it's relatively bullish. What I'm going to do is just mark this area, just like this, to see if we do manage to break through that. All right, so I might be more cautious with dollar Swissy than the others. Dollar CAD also struggling with this level of resistance right now. So a lot of these, I would prefer for them to break through that level before I look for continuations to the upside. But based off the weekly candles, based off the dollar, the euro dollar as well, it looks as though the momentum is still sitting with that stronger dollar. All right. In terms of currency pairs, I'm not really seeing anything I like. A lot of the yen pairs are acting funny now. They've lost they're struggling with these levels. Yen crosses, so not really liking the look of these. Might just stay away from those. It seems to me, I think for now, I'm more attracted to the majors. All right, then having a look at metals, let's have a look at gold. Big move up, a bit of a stall here. It's a really nice area, as I said in the past, to kind of turn around, find support. It looks as though it's managing to do that. Appears as though we have got a double bottom here on the weekly. So my expectation for now is to see this continue up. However, it might still require a bit of a retracement. There's some failure happening here. It might require a little bit of a correction down towards these highs in towards 1925, possibly this week, and then looking for bullish candles. Any kind of bullish setups here, I'll be looking for trend continuations to the upside. If we do, however, and I'll be surprised because looking at this exhaustion here, I'll be surprised if we just keep going. But gold in principle looks nice and bullish. You can see silver has already started its retracement, so gold is kind of topping out. Look at that weekly rejection candle. For me, it makes more sense that we would see silver come back down, potentially down towards 23. below 24, so a little bit lower than that, and looking for that. And also you can see that monthly is a bit of a mess. So I don't think it's unreasonable, especially with this bearish continuation candle, to see it potentially head a little bit lower. Natural gas, also still stuck within the range, no change. Look at it on the weekly. Nothing much happening there, and that monthly is just insane. Okay. Crude oils. Very nice. So these are definitely top of my list at the moment. So for me, for sure, day trading also some opportunities here. Look, so what I like about this is that we've just pulled back. This is the first bullish weekly candle. I think it's reasonable to expect the price could come back, test this level, and then a continuation within the coming week. Therefore, I'd be looking for some pullbacks, but it looks really good, really attractive. Brent crude is also going to be very attractive from that perspective, and you can see a very strong weekly candle there, looking through as though it's breaking through this downward trend line. So I think that we're going to see pretty confident. I don't even know why I'm saying that. Of course, I think we're going to see these go higher. Let's go and have a look at the global indices. Now, we've broken through resistance here. We've come back. We've produced a bit of a bullish candle here. So in isolation, this looks as though we've got a bullish continuation pattern over here. And I would say, especially if we break the high. Okay, so once we break above 35.027, I think it's reasonable to say that we should continue up from here. Then we've got a little bit of exhaustion here. We've got a nice little uptrend, any kind of a retracement back down into these highs, and a continuation up. Again, very nice swing low here, possible retracement back into these highs and a continuation. We'll have a nice little overlap of this week's candle, and I'm pretty happy with that so far. We've got the same thing with NASDAQ. So same kind of approach, looking for any kind of minor pullbacks, but otherwise this looks as though it's pretty good to continue to the upside at this time. I'll keep an eye on and see how it reacts when it gets to these levels over here, if it's going to double top or if it's going to struggle with that, but not really expecting any of that right now. Russell 2000, same thing, has also produced a nice bullish candle. I'd expect a nice continuation. It is still within the range. So it's really once we break out of this, and we had a fake out here, we had a false breakout or a attempted breakout. I think the next time we go, we're probably going to be able to make it out. FTSE as well, nice little double bottom here, still within a downtrend. Wicks over here looks relatively bullish. So this week for me will really be about, can we continue up and break, keep going to the upside. DAX. Not a really strong finish, but not terrible either. Also tended to find, it seems as though it did find support in this area. So looking to see if we can see a continuation up here and just keep going. You can see how it's sort of connected with the moving averages here, but it's got to stay, I think it has to stay above that 16,000 level to maintain that bullishness. The ASX, also very nice bullish weekly candle. You can see the sort of topping out here. I'd love to see, just a pullback into the moving averages and then continue up from there. We've got the Nikkei, also very nice bullish. It's had a really decent retracement here on the weekly. Again, I would have preferred a monthly correction down here, but for now it does appear as though it wants to keep going. This is almost a little bit of a bull flag, so let's just kind of mark that. Let's see how we do, and let's just do the usual thing here, just draw the dotted lines and see what happens with that. But yeah, fair to say that this is a good chance to continue to the upside. Then we have Apple, very, very nice here. I'd keep an eye on all-time highs here, but that's a really solid rejection of these highs. That was very nice. Almost couldn't have planned it better. So that looks good. Continuations to the upside. Amazon still looks good. I don't think it's overbought. I think it's a bit of a lagger. It looks really good over here. So it's almost as though it's just a slow, steady thing. I'll keep an eye when we approach these highs, but I expect it to, again, to sort of continue this week. AT&T battling in this area, really trying to turn around. It'll pick up momentum if it could break above this level here. So again, we'll just see what happens with these. But I would say it's significant if we break the monthly high, which would put us at $14.99. So yeah, $14.99. If we could break above that, that would produce a swing low on the monthly. So that in itself would also accelerate things. ARC battling here, you can see also produced a swing low, so it does have that potential to go higher. Is it uptrend on the daily? Got some resistance at 45, still stuck within this range. It'll be a really big day when it breaks outside of that range. I think it'll accelerate very much to the upside. But we don't count our chickens before they hatch, so we'll just keep an eye on that. Still range bound here with Glencore. Just keep an eye on that. It doesn't look super strong, but it's still within the range. We've got Tesco's has managed to break out, so you've got a nice little bit of you've got double bottom here, and we've broken the highs. Excuse me, a nice bullish continuation candle there. So looking good. Amex still stuck at these lows over here, which is interesting because MasterCard and Visa are having a killer month. Or at least have been having killer weeks lately. They're all-time highs. They're doing very well. I'd expect similar types of results from Amex. So I'll be looking for a turnaround here as well then, if that is going to be the case. It would be fair to say we might have a little swing low here. So let's see how that goes. Should we break to the downside, then I would pay more attention to why that is. Very nice trend continuation. Berkshire Hathaway looks pretty good at the moment. Not ridiculously overextended here. Very steady candles. Not a big volume candle. So far, don't see why they can't continue at this time. Coca-Cola is still battling down with this level of support. I'm just going to move it over there. It really is battling in this area. Overall, within the monthly, it's not looking so bad. It's still stuck. Let's mark this as a range again. Let's just do this and just kind of include everything in that so we kind of roughly know where we are with those. And then just bump this up a little bit. Come on. We'll just do it like that. Okay, so kind of keep an eye on that. So that's its range for now, certainly from a bigger, higher time frame perspective. And I think this year, that is definitely the perspective to take. Look at this beautiful BP breakout there to the upside. But why? Well, because crude oils have done well. Exxon will also be like this. There's very, very clean. You can see a solid breakout of the range, retest and a continuation. So we know where they're going next. We've got General Motors, swing low here at the bottom, range bound here. So good possibility for it to continue up. JP Morgan, very nice retracement into the old highs. This is a great place for it to turn around. So I'd love to see a bullish candle in this area. Could be that. Could be a little bit of a double bottom for me here. Break above this high should be a continuation to the upside, which is a break above the weekly high. Then we have a swing low. So all that looks good. So JP Morgan looks good. Adidas is just stalling here. This is just weird behavior, just running out of steam. Definitely battling a level there, which I've got. I've put it in. So it just has to break out from there. Okay. Meta. Beautiful. Look at this very nice swing low. So this again, I would have loved for it to retrace further. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I've said it before. I'd like to see a continuation to the upside there. Looks as though we've got a bit of a turnaround. We've got an uptrend on the daily, so I think we're going to see this continue up. A break above this high, which should be a continuation. So that appears to be a bit of a weekly turnaround to the upside. Morgan Stanley as well within this range. Bit of a swing low there, so could be working its way up. We've got Nvidia. So Nvidia is still battling at the top of this range at a potential red candle so far. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this. It has managed to close above this level. So right now it's stronger. It's stronger than that. It should be able to continue up based off that. So it could be a failed breakout. So next week we come back below that. If we do have that happen, then I'm even still inclined to believe we're going to have a deeper correction from Nvidia. However, should we break to the upside, break that high, we're then likely to continue up. And then that probably puts 600, possibly 600 as a target next. Then Netflix. Stalling here, you can just see the last 3 months, not really doing anything. It's pulled back, it's pushing back up. It's got to be able to push through here. This in isolation looks really nice and bullish. Should be able to get through that. PayPal, also a bit of a double bottom here. Really nice swing low on this one. Should be able to push up a little bit higher from there. Spotify, look at that. Really beautiful pullback, and it's on its way in a very nice monthly candle. So that looks really nice and bullish. Very overextended on the daily, but overall, principally the motion is to the upside. Spider, also same thing again, swing low within a range, should be able to push up. You can see a weekly downtrend here, but I think it's got that potential to push higher. FedEx, this is a really good possible turning point. So it's a little bullish, spinning top or doji, depending on which you prefer to call it. We've come down a little bit of a retracement. This could take up from here. So again, I'll be watching a break of the high of this candle. Tesla, yeah. Just see we're still stuck within this pennant or within this triangle. So I want to see what happens here. And last week, not really a massive week. So I want to see we break either side. Let's see what happens with that. Vanguard, also very nice. Looks like a good continuation to the upside. So cool. And Walt Disney. Yeah, Walt Disney is in trouble. So I've highlighted a couple of these levels here. We've got this low here, which is the lowest point we've had. Here would be the lowest point we had since we broke up through that, which is 2014. And we're potentially coming back down to that. We pretty much appear to have broken through this level. Okay, it doesn't, and I'm not seeing much of a turnaround here. And the only reason I bring this up is that because as it starts to break through these levels, it will accelerate, which means $50 becomes a very feasible target for it. This is a consolidation, which when it leads to a breakout, will do a move that is roughly that size. So it puts $50 in there. It's a possibility, but it still has this area could turn around, but it is not looking good. Okay, which means that there's going to be interesting news about Disney in the next year, I think, about its future. Wouldn't it be interesting if it ends up getting taken over or bought out by somebody else? Amazon could probably buy Disney. So we got again bonds not really doing much, continuing down overall, battling in this area. Nothing new, nothing major, just not getting much love. But I would say this, Eurobond, for example, has been here for a year, been in this area, hasn't done anything. So no one's really selling it, no one's really buying it, it's just kind of there. And then let's wrap up on cryptos. So cryptos again are battling. Okay, but again, we had that happen this year when we finally got a bit of a recovery from the Nasdaq, the tech stocks. We saw a little bit of a bump here. Okay, we saw a bit of a move up here, kind of going through this area, and we're sort of back down where these lows are. But I think it's feasible at this time to say this level might be able to hold. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. This level could potentially hold, and we could work our way up from here. Doesn't look strong, I admit, and it's really battling here on the monthly. It's really battling here. So I think the best thing is probably highlight this range. There we are. It's a little bit of a consolidation. Let's just do that and see if we can get out of that. Ethereum, same problem. So look, you see, maybe it's coming down, it'll bounce off that 50-period moving average and take off. Okay, Solana, yeah, they just look very, just not much interest happening here. Okay, a lot of these don't look great. So I expect them to either stay the same for now, not expecting much. They could bump up or break down. They're just not. They're very undecided. Look at this little bullish candle here and then a bearish candle. It's just very undecided. So cryptos are just waiting and biding their time. They're not getting a lot of love at the moment. It's a little bit like the bonds. So there we go. That's it, a relatively quick one today. So I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities in the coming week. Looking forward to it. And yes, thank you very much for watching. And I will let you go now and enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a great week trading. Thank you.